Please welcome to the show, Caitlin Clark. Caitlin, did you ever
What's
think
up,
you'd
guys?
be back? Cheers.
Excited to be back.
Cheers.
Don't worry. I got this nice throwback Gatorade can.
Well played.
Caitlin Clark just surprised everyone with a bold, unfiltered Zoom interview alongside WNBA legends Sue Bird and Diana Taurasi. From the moment she showed up on screen, it was obvious this wasn't going to be a typical lighthearted chat. Caitlin got real, talking openly about her move to the WNBA, addressing locker room talk, and sharing what really happened during those intense college games. It was honest, down to earth, and full of her trademark humor and personality.
Product placement.
There we
Will
go.
Our show loves it. Our show loves it.
So, what exactly did Caitlin reveal, and why is the entire basketball world talking about it? Stick around, because she didn't hold anything back. She spoke openly about Paige Bueckers, Diana Taurasi, and even called out the false claims Sheryl Swoopes has been spreading about the team. Ready? Let's break it down. It all goes back to the moment that shook the internet. About a year ago, Diana Taurasi looked straight into the camera and gave Caitlin Clark a now-famous warning: reality is coming. Remember that.
What will the league have in store for them when they get there?
Look, SVP, reality is coming.
Okay.
There's levels to this thing, and that's just life. We all went through it.
Of course.
And you see it on the NBA side, and you're going to see it on this side, where, you look superhuman playing against 18-year-olds, but you're going to come with some grown women that have been playing professional basketball for a long time.
Fast forward to this year, and let's just say, Diana had to eat her words. Caitlin's response? A smirk, a small nod, and a confident smile. T was cool, clever, and full of swagger. And while it was playful, make no mistake, it was a message loud and clear.
Congrats on your retirement, D.
Thank you.
And congrats
Now-
to you.
Unfortunately,
Well,
reality is
thanks.
coming to me now.
What's your big plans?
it in early.
What are you going to do?
I keep telling Sue I thought I was going to have all this time to do all these things. I'm more busy now. So if I give you any advice, play as long as possible.
We'll see. We'll get to 10 years. Then we'll think about it.
It's 10 years.
For Diana Taurasi, going head-to-head with Caitlin Clark wasn't just a regular game. It was a powerful, generational moment. Looking back at their first game in Phoenix, Taurasi described the atmosphere as unforgettable. She said it felt like it could have been the last game ever played. That's how intense the energy was. The crowd was electric, the buzz was unreal, and the night was about more than just basketball. It was about witnessing the passing of the torch right before our eyes. Diana spoke with genuine admiration, saying it was surreal to finally share the court with players she'd spent years watching dominate college basketball.
What was it like for you two to play against each other?
It was amazing. I've been following Caitlin for so long and been watching her college career just in awe. And to be on the court and, the first game was in Phoenix, and it felt like the last game that was ever going to be played. There was such anticipation. The crowd was going crazy. All the people that came out to see Caitlin and our teams play against each other. It really was an amazing moment. And you talked about how, if you could play against anyone that is this new generation. So I got to cross paths with Caitlin, at least for a couple games. And to me, that meant a lot, Like, we've been doing this for a long time, and to see Caitlin do what she does is, I think someone said the other day, I'm like, I want the season to start so I can watch you again.
Caitlin's take? Just as classy, but with that signature edge we've come to expect from her. She remembered that Phoenix game too, but this time, it hit different. We were down by 10 or 15 and came all the way back to win, she said, the pride clear in her voice. That comeback wasn't just another stat, it was a turning point. Going up against a legend like Taurasi and coming out on top? That's the kind of moment that builds serious confidence. And Caitlin didn't let it go unnoticed.
It was like to play against D.
Well, I was saying, that game in Phoenix, because we only played in Phoenix one time. And it was before Olympic break. Obviously, we had All-Star there too, but it was a great game. Honestly, I'm pretty sure we were down 10 or 15 and came all the way back and won. That was our first win versus a team that was above 500. So thank you. I appreciate that.
Great.
But underneath all the competitive fire, there was real respect. This moment went beyond just one game. It was a meeting of two basketball eras, happening right in front of us. Caitlin and Diana might be at different stages in their careers, but the mark they're leaving on the game? That's something that'll last. As they laughed and shared the memory, One thing was crystal clear. This wasn't just playful banter. It was basketball's past and future coming together, side by side.
How excited are you for this next WNBA season? New head coach and Stephanie White. You added Natasha Howard, who Sue knows really well, DeWanna Bonner, which I know really well, Sophie Cunningham. I mean, it seems like, you know, from the outside, this roster's ready to compete now, which is easy for us to say. We know there's a process to get there, but like when you see that and you see those names come in, what does that make you feel like?
Caitlin Clark isn't just rolling into the new WNBA season with momentum. She's bringing serious firepower. Talking about her revamped roster, she couldn't hide her excitement. With new head coach Stephanie White, seasoned vets like Natasha Howard and DeWanna Bonner, sharpshooters like Sophie Cunningham, and defensive anchors like Sydney Colson and Brianna Turner, it's a stacked lineup. Caitlin knows the names, but more importantly, she knows what each of them brings to the table. Still, she's realistic. With 7 new players and not much time to build chemistry, the challenge is real. But Caitlin's already locked in, ready to figure it out, and fully embracing the grind.
Oh, well, I mean, obviously on paper we have a really good team, but, you know, you only have, we start training camp, I think, on the 27th, and then, like, we have a back-to-back of preseason games on May 3rd and May 4th. So it's like, you have a very short amount of time to put that together, and 7 new pieces, and whether we carry 11 or 12, like, more than half of our roster, like, that's, you know, that's a hard thing within itself, but we should be pretty good. And like, I'm excited about it. I think what we needed was, you know, we added a lot more experience. Like in the playoffs, we just didn't have that. We were a young group. Even Kels, like obviously with being with the Fever during her entire career, she hasn't really had the opportunity to play in a ton of playoff games. So having that, whether it's Sydney Colson, whether it's DB, whether it's Natasha Howard, whoever it is, I think having that experience is going to be really good for us and that leadership in the locker room. So,
and it's not just her mindset that's on another level. Caitlin's been putting in serious work physically too. When someone brought up that viral off-season photo where her arms looked extra jacked, she couldn't help but laugh.
Viral picture that went around showing off your guns. Everyone's wondering, have you been hitting the weight room? Was it the camera angle? What happened there?
How did you do that? I've been trying to do that for 20 years.
AI is getting out of control. Come on.
But then she got real. Caitlin admitted she spent a lot of time in the weight room, not to look stronger, but to be stronger. To feel more dominant every time she steps on the court. She even broke down where she's grown, adding a floater, finishing through contact, and owning that mid-range game. It's clear, she's not just training to keep up. She's training to take over.
Trying to get in the off season, working on your game.
You're trying to get stronger, like a lot of time in the weight room, and it's like something like I kind of enjoy. So it's been pretty easy for me to like spend time in there and really work on that part of my game. And you know, I think the biggest thing on the court is just like that mid-range area. Like I got pretty uncomfortable in there when I would get in there, whether that's like I didn't really have any floater. I didn't like taking a mid-range jump shot. So just getting more comfortable, like when I get my feet kind of into the paint, and honestly trying to just add a floater to my game and, you know, finishing through contact and little things like that. But I think just going back to the weapons that we've added this year, like there's going to be so many different things that we're able to do that I think it'll be able to make my life a little bit easier, and it should make everybody's life a little bit easier on our team. That
kind of self-awareness is rare, especially for someone just starting their pro career. But Caitlin's already carrying herself like a seasoned vet. I kind of enjoy it, she said about the grind, talking not just about the physical work, but also the leadership role that comes with a star-filled roster. She knows the pressure's on. Expectations are sky high. But she's not backing down. She's stepping right into it. And remember when Sheryl Swoopes claimed the Indiana Fever locker room was toxic?
In the Fever, we're like, y'all.
That's not my point. There's a lot of other shit going on that players are like, this ain't where I want to be.
Over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some new shit going on around there.
It's a lot. Yeah. So you have players that are very significant on this Indiana Fever team that are like, I don't want to be here. This is where I want to be.
Yeah.
Well, Caitlin Clark's finally addressed that head on.
That whole week was like, Indiana, they don't get along, you know, all this. And I'm like, great. And then I'm like, this is the most together team I've ever seen.
Is that one of the hardest things for you as a pro now? Just seeing all the narratives like that one, that your team didn't get along, and just having to literally ignore it, deal with it, even though you know it's not true?
She confirmed what we all knew all along: what Swoopes said were simply not true.
Something you kind of just become used to is like people think they know what's going on inside of your locker room and they just don't at the end of the day. It's just, you know, the girls that you have in there, and then obviously your coaching staff, and that's all that matters. And honestly, like, the best thing about last year is like we honestly had so much fun together. Yeah, we lost our first 8 games or whatever, but like we wouldn't have won if we didn't have a tight-knit circle or a good locker room. And that's the reason we kind of turned everything around, is just we like needed some time. We were a young group and, you know, we figured it out. But yeah, it was really fun, honestly.
Let us know in the comments, how excited are you for the season? Training camp kicks off in just a few weeks, and preseason is right around the corner. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss a moment. Click the video on the screen, and we'll catch you in the next one.